Hello students, in this part we will discuss on demography, census and some words or definition which related to the census. What is demography? Statistical study of human population is known as demography. Statistical study of human population is called demography. Which is related to census. Then next one is, what is census? It is the procedure of systematically collecting data of human population that is called census. It is the procedure systematic procedure of systematically collecting data of human population that is called census. Census is conducting after every 10 years. It is conducting after every 10 years. The first census, which was conducted in 1871, first census was conducted in 1871 and the last one is 2011. Last census 2011. This was the 15th census. Means after 10 years the census is conducted. Means firstly it was conducted in 1871, then 1881, then 1891 and so on. Last census was conducted in 2011. This was the 15th census. Why there is need to conduct the human population data? This is because we can calculate the number of human populations which is present in all over the world. According to census, in 1900 the world population was only 2 billions. According to census, the world population in 1900 was only 2 billions and 2000 it increases from 2 billions to 6 billion and 2001 it also rapidly increasing and it increased 7 billion. This is the world population which was conducted according to the census. In 1900 the world population was only 2 billions. In 2000 it suddenly increased and reached to the 6 billion. 2001 7 billion. And according to 2011 the census Indian population was 1.2 billion. According to 2011 the India's population was 1.2 billion. Clear? This is the census. Why this census is used and how we can calculate the human population growth rate. Human population growth rate in percentage, how we calculate. Human population is measured as annual average growth rate. And if we calculate the annual average growth rate percentage, then what is the formula we will calculate? Annual average growth rate percentage formula is P2 minus P1 upon P1 into N or into 100. What do you understand by P2 and P1 and N? P1 is the population of human being according to the previous census. Population of human being according previous census, and P2 is population of human being nowadays. N stand for number of year between the two census. Number of years between two census. How we can calculate the population annual average population, or you can say annual average growth rate in percentage? P2 minus P1 upon P1 into N or into 100. P1 is stand for human population according to previous census. P2 human population according to nowadays, and N stand for the number of years between the two census. Suppose in a village in the 2011 the population of human being was 500, and nowadays it increased to change 1000 sorry. Then what is the population growth rate? P1 stand for 500, nowadays 1000 minus 500 टोटल है क्या? यहाँ 500 into n number of gap period 10 years, तो 500 into 10, 500 को 5000 से मल्टीप्लाई कर दीजिए, that is 0.1%. This is the annual average growth rate. We can calculate this formula. This is the formula by which we can calculate the annual average growth rate percentile. Clear? The next one is, what is doubling time? Doubling time. Doubling time means the number of years required of a population to grow double. The number of years required for a population to make its double. That is called doubling time period. Previously, the doubling time period of the population was calculated 33 years, but nowadays it reduced only 30 years. Previously, it was 33 years, but nowadays it is reduced. Why this is reduced? Due to the increasing population rate. Nowadays it is 30 years. Clear? The next one is, what do you understand by RL? Replacement level. These are the words which related to the census. RL stand for replacement level, or you can say that replacing level. Every couple must have to produce their offspring, must have to produce their children, and to replace themselves, means generation to generation चलती है. Every couple must produce their children to replace themselves, and this is called replacement level. In developed country, replacement level is 2.1, and in developing country it is 2.7. In developed country, the RL is 2.1, whereas in developing country it is 2.7, due to not provide the proper medical facility, so that the infant rate of mortality rate in the infant as well as mother is increased. This is due to lack of medical facilities. This medical facility is lacked in the developing country, because in developing country there is no fully luxurious, all the materials should be provided. Clear? अब डे बाय डे जो ह्यूमन बीइंग की पॉपुलेशन इंक्रीज होती जा रही है, व्हाट इज द रीजन बिहाइंड इट? द रीजंस behind the increasing population are: first one, to provide better facility of better medical facilities, so we can control all types of disorders which are suffering from, and which the human being is suffering, maybe infant or a mother. Second, better living methods. Nowadays the person is educated and he or she knows how they can be live for a long years. That is the better living methods. Next one is decreasing in the infant mortality rate. Decreasing in the infant mortality rate, which is also known as IMR. In newborn baby death rate, mortality means death rate. Death rate is reduced in the newborn baby because the medical facility is enhanced. Same as decreasing in the mother mortality rate, that is MMR. And last one is decreasing the birth rate. Why? The people have educated, and then nowadays they have the knowledge how they can survive better and how they can provide the children better education, better clothes and better food if they have small family. So they have to implement the slogan on हम तो हमारे, decreasing the birth rate. This is because every person nowadays is educated and they have to knowledge how they can survive better, how they can provide their children's best food as well as education and clothes. So they implement on the slogan according to India, हम दो हमारे दो. So these are the reasons behind the increasing population rate, because medical facility increase, living methods people have improved, as well as decreasing in infant mortality rate, newborn mortality rate means death rate, mother mortality rate, the mothers which don't have the good reproductive health, they are not provided the good balanced diet. You can say that they are suffering from some disease and bad diet, they will be died. But due to the increasing of best food varieties, the decreasing mother mortality rate is decreased. And the next one is decreasing the birth rate. It means the person is well educated and nowadays they have the knowledge how they can survive better and how they can provide the children better education, better food as well as better clothes. So they have to implement the slogan of हम दो हमारे दो. These are the some methods by which we can calculate the human mortality rate as well as death rate, because the census is dependent on mortality and birth rate and death rate. Mortality means death rate and birth rate, that is the fertility. So that is which is dependent on census. One more word is TFR. TFR stand for total fertility rate. Total fertility rate means a woman which can produce, which has the ability to produce more and more children in their lifetime, in her lifetime. That is called total fertility rate. It is the ability of a woman to produce the number of children in her lifetime. The total number of children in her lifetime. That is called total fertility rate. In next part we will discuss on some contraceptive methods.